All good?
Minecraft zombies, super interesting.
What kind of zombies?
Minecraft.
Oh gosh, yeah.
There's like a kid's book called Diary of a Minecraft Zombie.
That's really cute.
They're like $2 on Amazon, so they're like, yeah, we can do this.
Nice.
I don't think he's listening. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think I would start getting to the story also.
That's a really good like overlap. You're like, oh, I get to nerd out while my kid gets a bedtime story. Let's do this.
Yeah.
I can't tell him that, otherwise he'll like use that like as like, Mom, you like this too. You can come like, with me. It's not for me, it's for you.
All right. So, we had kind of a quick ending last time, but I think we've all kind of chatted and come to some understandings. I think there are just a couple things that I would want to kind of mention in the wake of last session is just if you're ever feeling uncomfortable, if you're feeling frustrated, if you're ever feeling in any way like distress or stress as a player, um, please 100% break character because I've tried not to like interject when characters are doing things, and like we've had a really heated conversation between Ice Rose and Stella, and I just let it play out, and it was all cool. Everyone was comfortable, and it got into a lot of like deep character stuff, and it was really fun to let that play out and see it play out. And with us not all being around the same table and being able to see each other and things like that, when everyone stays in character, it's really hard to tell what's character stuff and what's player stuff. So I just kind of ask that, if you're ever not feeling in any way level on as a player, like in terms of what's going on, please 100% break character. There's a lot of kind of groupthink in the D&D community about like everything has to be in character. It's bad to break character. You should be role playing all the time. And I think that's just kind of flat out wrong. There's a lot of reasons to break character and do quote unquote metagaming because first of all, we're all remote. We can't see each other. We can't see all that. But also there's a lot of meta knowledge that or quote unquote meta knowledge that like characters would actually have. Like your characters would be spending more time together than we all do as players because they're on the road day in, day out, and we see each other for 4 hours a week. And then also like we have to deal with there's each person at the table is a player and each person at the table is a character, where your characters would just see a character 100% of the time. So I think a lot can be gained in shorthand and just in um, just coming to things with level footing and level eyes to break character and discuss things. Like if you have motivations you want to bring to the table and kind of discuss out of character with the players, I think it's good to kind of lay out what your goals are and what you're hoping to achieve. And I definitely want to encourage that. The idea that like everyone has to be in character all the time, I don't think is necessarily correct or 100% healthy. So um, that also will let me kind of keep a better eye on what's actually going on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sounds fantastic.
Woohoo!
And since you brought up all of that, would we like as characters to discuss like our own individual ambitions and discuss like because we do have a time sensitive quest with Stella's stuff. Do we want to like break character for a minute and just kind of like recap like how like that before we dive in again? Do we want to take this moment to just It's
Yeah.
been like a year and a half of just like nonsense. So like it's totally fine if everyone wants to just like take a second and like catch up and be like, where do we see our characters?
Yeah, is it? I mean, it might be. I think it might be a good idea to maybe do like one or two. Like these are the things that my characters. These are my main motivations as a player and or character for the moment. Like if that makes sense. Does that align with Brie what you're saying?
Yeah, something
Yeah,
like that. Just kind of like recenter ourselves. It's just like, what are we looking for out of this game?
yeah, and Bree mentioned this briefly to me, and I like I said, I think it's really good for you guys to have some meta knowledge, quote unquote meta knowledge about each other's intentions and things like that, because that's stuff that would come out just in the day to day of adventurers spending time together. And a lot of you have had conversations with me and DMs with me and let me kind of know what you're aiming for, but I don't know that all the players really know what each other are kind of aiming for and going to get out of it. So I do think that if anyone is happy and willing to share, I would greatly encourage it. But if someone wants things to kind of come out naturally over the course of their character, or just kind of want to go with the flow, that's also okay. So if people would like to share, I think it would be great to do so.
Yeah, I can give mine really quick because Roos is brand new. The only thing that Roos has on his to-do list is to send a follow-up sending message to his friend about defense. That's it. And then as a player, like the reason I've said this to quite a few people. I think we talked about it at the end of one of the sessions, but people left. Ultimately, I brought Roos in because I felt as a player I was not getting in. Black's characteristics did not allow me to really get to know other characters because Black really didn't give a shit about anybody besides Black, and it started to make me feel a little hollow. So one of Roos's primary drives, I mean, I feel like this has been happening at this point, is he likes to find out about others in a way that Black never could. So that's kind of my goal, which also I think kind of frees it up to like I'm really curious to hear about what your characters are involved in and what they're, and also to watch and see where you play. So that's all for me.
And actually,
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, sorry, go Sarah. I
Oh.
wanted to hear from you next because we're gonna go to your plot next.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I think Stella is hesitant to bring the party to her village, and that's a lot of like village drama. She doesn't know how the group is gonna mesh with how kind of strict they are, but I, as a player, really want us to go to her village and hopefully solve whatever that mystery is that I threw in Dan's lap about the cave and whatever the hell is going on there. And yeah, outside of that, though, that's kind of been her main motivation this entire time. It has been to learn and to grow and eventually go back to her village and kind of show them, like, hey, I've been to the outside world and things are different out here. And I think we need to, I don't know, come out of the shadows or stop hiding. Like, she wants to know why they're doing what they're doing. So hopefully we get to find that out relatively soon.
Anyone else?
I mean, I've been really happy with the way that things have shaped up. There's been, I think, a pretty good balance of like gaining of backstory, learning about things like that, just through kind of conversations relevant to the the plot. I think that's great that it's been so organic like that. I don't, as a player, I'm super happy with all this, and I know that, like Dan said, it can be difficult when you don't have kind of body language to to kind of help with communication. So like if I ever step on anybody's toes, I apologize. I'm doing my best to kind of role play, or at least kind of see the the world the way that Luthien might, because while I kind of built him off of everything I don't like about myself, like it's still, even though those things are like a part of me, it's still difficult to like put them out into the world like accurately. It's very strange. So if I ever come off as like, or say something weird, I'm sorry. I certainly wouldn't want to hurt anybody's feelings. But as a player, this has like been the coolest thing. This is the best campaign I've been a part of, which is great. I guess as a character, I don't want to just give Luthien's whole story away, because I think it would be cool just to have it come out organically, but he is kind of questioning whether he has free will, or if anyone does at all, which is why he's a little bit intense about deities and things like that. So that's why he would be super passionate about trying to get Imex out of the material plane and kind of doing maybe some questionable things to achieve that. But that's kind of it for him. He would like to maybe get a couple answers about why things are going the way they are.
So, from what you said about that, about like the influence from gods and stuff, it sounds to me like the discussions you had with the name right on hand, but the guy at the chateau or whatever estate that you guys visited, his talk about severing planes. Was that something that would have resonated with Luthien?
It was, but he didn't want to. I like this whole scenario is great, but he didn't want to like start any problems, because he figured dealing with the cult plus Edoran plus his army of undead would be difficult. He didn't want to like get him too angry. And it was funny because I was considering that next session going back at like sending a sending spell and asking him to meet one-on-one and maybe talking about some kind of deal. But then Baddock and Storm just randomly wanted to go out and start a fight with the skeletons, and so no, that didn't.
You and me both, bro. You and me both.
It's just the way these things tend to go.
It is. It was so funny because I was like, why would you just go out and start? That's Storm. That's what I love about it, is everybody does a good job like being their character.
Sometimes you just want to see bridges burn.
Yeah, it's fun. It's more fun. Like the world is more fun with Blex and Baddocks. Like it or not.
Would you like to comment in this moment?
I think that moment was a frustration point for Stormblaze, for player and character, I guess. And he just went in and said, fuck it, just wanted to go in and smash it. And he didn't really like Edoran, so it was like the perfect opportunity to hit and run.
I mean, that's fair.
I just want to roll some dice, bro.
You are so close to being turned into the slave of a Blade Lord, though.
I would have welcomed that.
But then we would have to fight you.
Punish me for my bad decisions, please.
I don't want to fight you.
Believe it or not, I'm not as strong as everybody is right now. I think, I'm afraid more of, Stella, Mara?
Honestly, you could rip us both to shreds very, very, very easily.
Yeah, as long as you get up close. We're dangerous from far away. That's the difference.
We can kill you before you get to us, but also if you're just standing right there anyway, you could slit our throats at any time.
Those are like the times that Stella really did like nearly die, was because people just got way too close to her, and she's like, "I'm not good at this."
I can take one hit. Shit.
I feel like the most dangerous I was as a DM was when I was controlling the dream creatures that were mind controlling you guys.
Yeah, that was not fun.
That was so scary.
Yeah, that was kind of close.
Yeah, so is there any other like long-term motivations that Storm has, or just kind of
His long-term
living?
his long-term goals is pretty much to find his lost friend. She's been missing ever since that incident in his village, and he's just searching around for it. He's not like a hardcore gun ho going looking for her, but he's listening and watching, and if he happens to catch a clue or something, he might bring it up or say something.
Yeah.
But he really wants to find answers as to why his village was basically decimated by dragons. So just waiting for that.
And so that's probably a tale he would have shared with the party, right?
I don't think it ever came up. I was waiting for it to come
Okay.
up organically. The only time it did come up was when we actually fought a dragon, and I was kind of trying to bring that up, but didn't really stick, I guess.
So we need more dragons. Noted.
Hey, I'm down for more dragons. I guess I can go next. I actually don't really have a final end goal for Ice because two two things I have for her. One, she's cursed, and that's caused actually her people to kind of like shun her a little bit, but they kind of still depend on her. And when Mara found her, they actually kicked her out. But she's also really concerned because there's a potential like huge demon invasion that's been trying to get into her village for a long, long time. So yeah, I don't know if we're ever gonna head down to Ice's village because it is really out of the way. It's like all the way at the bottom. It's the Florida of our map, actually. It's all the way at the bottom on an island. Yeah, I just realized that. Yeah, so I don't have strong preferences if we head down there or not, because I don't know which way Ice's curse is gonna take her yet. Like it's something that she knows she's cursed, but she doesn't know where it's gonna go, and that's something I've been just trying to figure out. So she's just wandering and learning about people actually liking her and wanting to stick with her for a while.
I don't know how much you want to share because I know you want it to come out kind of naturally, but my feelings from what I've learned of Ice Rose is kind of that you have more ideas about where you want her to go as a character than in terms of plot. Does that sound fair?
Yes, she definitely needs to not be super like racist, rigid. I built such a difficult character.
She
Uh,
needs growth.
she needs therapy.
Yeah, that's
Definitely.
probably more accurate.
I mean, to be
Not
fair,
gonna
this is
lie
a
though,
character.
she
This is a
does
character
ask the right questions.
But this is a character that I did build based off of a patient, and I'm kind of regretting some of the elements I threw in right now because now I have to play it.
Hey, you can
Get
always
rid of some of that.
decide sudden character growth.
I've been trying to get
Very
it to
sudden.
happen more organically, and she has a little bit.
It's
When
been pretty. It's been fun.
when sudden character growth doesn't work, then just send him off on a shipping expedition and get a new character.
Yeah,
Betrayal.
yeah.
Speaking of which, what was Bleck's goals?
Black is still out there doing his goals. His goal is always just to further his lot in life. He is ambitious to no end. That is Black, and he's still doing Black things. Real quick, Ice, I had a question. the place that you said you're from is it Sedona? Sedona?
Sonoria.
Sonora, because I wrote it down, but after a session, and I forgot what it was exactly. Sonoria, right?
Yeah, I put it in the chat.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, so it's that island that's just off of a little, I think it's a peninsula.
Yep.
Or-
It's like sorry, I take that back. It's not Florida, it's Cuba.
Is it like what Sicily is to Greece?
I'm not familiar with Europe, so I don't know.
Well,
It's a
Sicily
lot
would be-
closer, so that's probably a better description than Cuba. Cuba is, it's not far, but it's also not like right there.
Yeah, Sicily's like right off the toe of Italy, so it's like I think it's very similar to our map, where it's like it's connected by it's basically got a strait running through it that separates. Right?
Gotcha. Yeah, not familiar with Europe, but actually it's kind of like Singapore. Now that I think of it too, because Malaysia's a peninsula that juts out, and Singapore's like separated from Malaysia by a strait.
Yeah, it's kind of all three of these things
Yeah,
are
that
like
works.
each other. Singapore, Sicily, and
Cuba.
Cuba.
what is it? Sonoria.
Yeah.
There you go. I pulled up maps of all three of them. Now I'm looking at them. I like maps.
I wish
I
you could
built
start
my
labeling
entire
them that.
I built my entire character that I play, who's currently dead. He might be revived, but he's all based around mapping and discovering the map and exploring new space. And I've actually been working on drawing the map of the world as we explore it.
Can we put labels on it?
There are what do you call them? Comments in the PDF.
Oh, I see that now.
I just download the JPEG and Google over it in MS Paint.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
if someone like if you've already done that, you could drop that in the world info to kind of share knowledge like that. These aren't just channels for me to dump stuff. Like if you guys are working on any of that, you can share resources with each other, or if you have like Google Docs or whatever that you're dropping stuff in, like feel free to like share amongst
I
yourselves.
should go back over my notes. It's been a while since I've done notes for this game. But I guess Mara, she doesn't necessarily have goals, has goals. She just like, she walks on the road and she like experiences life as it comes out, as it comes at her, not necessarily like seeking anything. But she does feel a little bit guilty about like the last 3 months or so. So there's that. I will like do anything to try to help fix things that have happened thus far.
Is there any murder in particular she feels most guilty about?
Is there any murder? You know what? Honestly, it's the goblins that we murdered in the first session.
Oh, man.
Like, can you imagine if we look back and we tried to like have a peaceful resolve with the goblins and like found out that the goblins were being exploited by a robber before we had to go through everything?
That's
Like
before we got
that's-
our morals.
I know, but like that's the one that I feel the most guilty about. Like, honest to God, hands down, I'm always just like, fuck, we killed like so many goblins our first 2 weeks.
That is
Wait.
hilarious.
Like, I am a murderer.
You feel guilty about that, but not about the gnomes you killed, knowing that they were being possessed by a
Okay,
dream
but
demon.
also I do feel guilty about that, but also to be fair, I was moving during that time and I kind of just showed up for a combat, did pew 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 and didn't think about morality in regards to my character because I had boxes surrounding me. So that's, but I do feel bad about that. But honest to God, I was just like, I cold-blooded murdered those goblins with no remorse. What the fuck?
Not really cold-blooded. They blocked your caravan and attacked you guys.
I know,
with
but
words
like
and-
honestly, we probably could have given them 5 gold and they would have walked away, being like, "Yeah, we raided successfully," and I'd be like, "You go, little buddies."
that's also probably a fair assessment.
So I do feel like super bad about that.
Even the one that was just like chilling, drinking his milkshake.
I've been trying to make up for it ever since, and it's gone so wrong.
You killed a goblin that was taking his lunch break?
Dude, it was a mess.
Mistakes were made. Many people died,
including Mara.
including Mara.
Okay, so like if we had talked to those goblins, Mara wouldn't have died. Like this has been my whole problem.
So, spoiler alert: Mara is the Joker.
Oh my god. No.
I don't know what I do. I just do things.
Okay, don't say those things. I'm gonna fucking retire my character if I have to do that.
You know, that's not an inaccurate assessment.
Okay, but like that's not what I wish for. I would like to make everyone clear. Like, I'm pretty sure if I had proposed that wording before I made the wish, everyone would have been fine with it. I'm not going to discuss this. But that's not what I wished for, to be clear.
Accidental Joker, also the plot of the most recent Joker movie.
That's
Well,
exactly what I was
yeah,
thinking.
You're not wrong.
Wait, there's another one?
This is so terrible.
Is it on Netflix? I want to watch it now.
The Joaquin Phoenix one, it was like a year or two ago? Oh
Okay,
god,
might
it
be.
must have been 2 years ago now.
Yeah, it was a
Oh
while
yeah,
ago.
that one.
I still haven't seen it. I heard it's great though.
The cinematography is actually quite beautiful. Not gonna lie.
I'll see if
I-
it's on Netflix.
I have such mixed feelings about it because like the acting and the visuals, like it's all really good, but the director just like couldn't like let it come out and shut his fucking mouth. So he made it be something that's much more about what it is as a concept than what it is as a movie. And then there was all the Scorsese pretentiousness, and like he very much just kind of ripped off a lot of other stuff, and it's kind of like you think you're like this great filmmaker, but your only movies are the Hangover movies, and then you just ripped off Scorsese. Like, what's so great about you?
He should have just admitted that it was an Instagram filter all along, and it probably would have done better.
Yeah.
But it was at least pretty to watch.
Yeah. Like if you don't know anything about the director and like what he said about it and everything that went on around it, like that's great to just kind of look at it on its own because like it was at the point I saw it, it was inseparable from all the discussions that happened around it.
This is perfect. I know nothing of the discussion, so I'll watch it with fresh eyes.
Yeah, I'd be very interested to hear what people who see it with fresh eyes have to say. Like, I just watched Dune, and like people ask me like, what did I think about it? I'm like, I don't want to tell you my opinion because I want to hear what people who have no idea what Dune is think about the movie Dune.
Yeah. I'll let you know what my daughter thinks. I'm gonna introduce. Well, actually, real quick, is there anything inappropriate for like my daughter's gonna be 10, but she watches PG-13 stuff. Is there any? Is it like any nudity or anything like that?
There's no nudity. The violence is all it occurs very quick and it's not full of gore or anything. I can't even remember. Is it PG-13 or R?
Does it feel like Star Wars basically?
Yeah,
Okay.
it does, except it's a lot.
I would like to point out there
Heavier.
are some heavy psychological questions that come up during the show that if you haven't watched it, you should at least find like articles that talk about it to get all the spoilers to determine.
For Dune?
Oh, for Dune? Oh, sorry. I thought we were still talking about the Joker.
Okay.
Like I was gonna be like,
Joker's dark as fuck. She's not lying. It's
Yeah, the Joker I do not think is probably okay for a child of that
No,
age.
Queenie's not watching the
no,
Joker. She's
sorry,
watching Dune.
sorry, Dune. I
Yeah.
haven't seen Dune. I should probably go watch Dune. I haven't even seen the original one, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, you don't really need to see the original because like they're each interpretations of the same source material, but they're not really related to each other. It's kind of like the miniseries The Shining and the movie The Shining, like Kubrick just went off and did whatever the fuck he wanted to do. David Lynch went off and did whatever the fuck he wanted to do. So it's
That's fair.
anyway. Sorry, movie detours. Mars the Joker.
It happens. I'm sorry.
So I think the only thing that happened last session that was in canon, well, in canon definitely was the whole Temple of Shirag, Mara self-harming.
Correct. And then meeting back up for lunch, brunch, dinner, whatever we're doing.
Yes.
I actually would like if you're okay with it, Michelle, but for Ice Rose to continue with her plan for what she wanted. I would like Ice Rose to continue with her ideas on what should be done moving forward.
Oh, you just reminded me. I want to clarify one thing. Michelle, the player, was the one that confused Hildebrandis for a demon. I'm really new to D&D, so I kept getting that mixed up, especially with him summoning demons. So that's a player mistake. So Ice Rose definitely knows the difference between an undead and a demon.
No worries. No
Yeah,
worries.
I know
We can roll with it. We can roll with it from here because honestly, this is consequences of the knife, and this is kind of your call in regards to this.
Yeah, and as a clarifying thing, because I want to clarify stuff that characters would know in world as canon and what people can learn by looking at like stat blocks and pages like that. And so I would also encourage like players, unless it's something that like I've sent you, kind of ignore stat blocks and things that are out there because I'm homebrewing stuff. But I did when Hildebrand was summoning the, I think it was the Nightmare and the Hellhound. I was ruling those as undead. But there's only so many creatures of a certain type in there, and I wanted him to have really cool minions. But for the sake of it, I was ruling all that stuff as undead things that accompanied him rather than things he was summoning.
Yeah, I think after you made that clarification was when like it started getting easier for me to like stop calling Hildebrand as a demon. It's like, okay, they're all undead. I'm not getting confused now.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, and like honestly, from a meta perspective, raising undead is something that like a lot of normal mortals of a certain level can do. So it's still natural to the material plane itself. Am I correct, Dan?
Yes, because even like Revivify, what you would use to bring someone who recently died back to life, you know, what Luthien used on you, what was used on Stormblaze, and who else died? Black?
Black.
Wait, did Storm die?
No, it was
No.
Ice
Yeah.
Rose and Black.
I was unconscious.
Ice
Yeah.
Black and Mara. Revivify is a necromancy spell. So that's necrotic energy in a certain way. The way necromancy works in D&D is it's kind of the balance between life and death. So there's even healing spells like vampiric touch, but then also there's, I can't remember the name of it, but you take damage and then you heal a party member for twice the damage that you deal to yourself.
It's
Because
life transference.
yes, life transference. That itself is a necromancy spell because it involves the balance of life and death. You're taking your own energy and transferring it over to someone else. So that it's a healing spell that's necromancy.
That's what Luthien used on the big prayer tree.
Yes. Yeah.
What
So
does
yeah,
that,
necromancy isn't just all summoning undead thralls to mindlessly kill stuff.
what does that make blood magic then?
Blood magic is not a class of magic within D&D. Depending what you consider a blood magic spell, I mean, it really depends. But life transference really is kind of like a self-sacrifice. That would be probably something I'd consider, you know, if that class were to exist, like that would kind of be it. Um, then I'm trying to think of other spells
Blood,
that are blood based.
yeah, blood curses is what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, it's not a school of magic because that is an ability, it's not a spell.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's just a natural thing that you can do for fun.
Yeah,
For fun.
vampiric vampiric touch is also necromancy, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so spell lists are something that are definitely open to the players. So if you're ever curious, you can look at there and like look at necromancy spells and see what falls in there.
Gotcha.
How long do we have until Stella like gets shut out of her gates forever? By the way, like,
I
It's
think
like
I said
are
a
we
couple
under pressure?
months.
I think it's around like 3 months or so, but she
Yeah.
has just a vague feeling that things are
Okay.
more dire based on the fortune teller. And did you
Yeah,
have some visions
she's
or dreams or something?
yeah, when I was high on mushrooms, I had
Yes.
a dream. Yeah, so she's a little anxious to get back there. But she technically has a lot of time. Although you said, like, depending on which way we went through the mountains, it might take a little bit longer than usual. So that's something to consider.
Yeah, going over the mountains, you'll be there plenty early, but if you were to go the full trade route that Black was planning on taking, it would be getting
Mm.
you there right about the time that you were needing to get there.
Gotcha. Also, per the calendar, today's the day that the girls' agreement is up. FYI.
Yes, and I was going to delay that since Sarah and
Yeah.
therefore Stella was not here. But since Sarah is now here and it's still the same day, we can have that play out. And then also
Mm,
on the calendar, I think, yeah, we didn't actually pass another day um, yet. So Mara's sickness is still applicable.
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, so you guys did have a couple conversations with Hildebrandis. Do you want those first messages to stay in canon, or should we rewind those?
I mean, those can stay in canon, I think.
Yeah, that was useful info.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
before we get into character, we're going to resolve the knife issue first.
It's. I think it's not the knife issue anymore. It's more the issue of Imix.
Yeah, the knife is currently in Ice Rose's possession, so I guess you could say the knife issue is resolved.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
I'm
more
meaning
the
more
issue
of
of Imix
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
I
The
mean the mix.
consequences of the knife. It sounds like whether we meet Hildebrandis or go to Stella's village, either way we have to head north. So I am fine with however things play out.
So he's up north. I don't remember that. I don't think I wrote anything down like
Yes,
that.
over the mountains. You guys
Yeah.
did see in the mirror images of him being in the same country as Stella's homeland. But it's a big country, so you don't know exactly where he is.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So the last thing was we got done talking to Hildebrandis and
Yeah, we
yeah.
hadn't set up a meeting time, and I was wondering how you wanted to proceed with this.
I mean, I guess we agreed to meet with him. She doesn't like it, but she'll go along. She said she would be nice as long as nothing suspicious.
Okay.
As long as Hildebrandis doesn't do anything suspicious.
Do you have any ideas on Death Knight weaknesses that we should be prepared, or things that we should keep in mind when dealing with him that are obvious traps? Like I feel like you would know kind of more than I would about this particular subset.
That's an excellent question. Dan, do I
That
know anything?
that would be a nature at advantage.
Nature. Oh shoot, hang on. I didn't even open up my character sheet. I haven't logged in.
With the 15, you would know that he doesn't have any specific damage vulnerabilities. You would very easily be able to know, based on your general knowledge of undead, that he would be immune to necrotic and poison damage. Let's see if there's in a fight with him in the past, you guys would know he's been able to defend himself quite well against melee attacks. That's not necessarily anything related to undead, but just his ability to fight good up front.
He's more of a melee fighter.
Melee fighter, and he's also got a good array of spell slots. So
We've also seen him
Bit-
pop in and out of portals or like other dimensions, like pocket dimensions.
yeah,
Yeah, he like
Quickly.
Yeah.
he left like right as he got the brazier.
yeah. So
Mm.
it's an undead paladin, so it's a caster / fighter hybrid. And he does have a unique ability to kind of manipulate the ethereal plane to so the ethereal plane is kind of like the glue that binds all the planes together, and you can use it to get through from one plane to another, or you can use it to relocate on the same plane, but it's something that still has to be moved through. And you guys have seen him move from the material plane back to the material plane through the ethereal plane, if that makes sense.
Yeah, can I get one clarification? Because I didn't write this down that session. Did he say he summoned Imix or he just bound Imix for the gnomes?
He just bound him for the gnomes.
Gotcha. Cool. Yeah. He's killable now, but Ice kind of looks around the room. He's immune to a couple things, but I don't think that's any type of damage that any one of us does. And he hits hard. Ice will rub whatever spot Hildebrandis knocked her out. Hit when she knocked her out before.
I like to imagine he just went straight for her head.
Right. Good to
He's like,
know.
bonk. Gotta
Yeah,
go.
pretty much.
Ice
Yeah.
knows very well you do not want to 1v1 a death knight.
Yes, she learned her lesson. Don't do it.
So since we're all gathered here, how many people do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we have 5 plus Sasha, and I'm assuming Sasha, you're gonna just stick to trade routes. Are you gonna take over Black's wagons? Do you want those while we deal with this?
Well, I still have another good, I guess, 11 hours to decide.
I mean, that's fair.
I was like sweating a little bit.
Sasha eyes you.
Well, they're there if you want them. Shit, what was I gonna say about this? Hold on. I should have wrote this down. Okay, so there are 5 of us. If we do get into a scrap, I do have a spell that can teleport the 5 of us, I guess technically 6 of us, into a strategic location within 120 radius. So if we want to like write out any like plays that we want to like try to plan out, then I do have that.
Is that the same spell as Roos?
Can Bruce, can you scatter people?
No, I am casting Word of Recall when I bring us back.
Yeah.
So
it-
Roos is far, Mara is nearby.
Yeah, mine is if we were to suddenly be like, I don't know, ambushed or betrayed or in other ways like tricked or whatever, I could scatter us to a ideal position by putting all the archers in the back and all the melee in ideal positions to like just attack. But the only thing is, if that happens, we all need to be agreed on plays because I need you guys to be willing for when the spell works. Otherwise, there's a chance it could fail and you're left alone in the middle of a field and that would suck. So we all need to agree on like plays if we're going to use the scatter spell. Like,
Wait, if I'm reading this correctly, you can choose where to put each one of us?
correct. So like I could put Stella and Naya and like back in the trees so they could do their like badass archery shit that they always do. And then I could put you and Stormblaze in ideal locations to not get hit, but also be close enough to engage in melee immediately. And I could put, Luthien in a comfortable position to support the rest of the party. Or me in a comfortable position to support the rest of the party, like depending on how things play out. But I want to make sure that we're all agreed on plays because if you resist it, then there's a chance everything could fall apart, and that would not be great if we were to suddenly like spring an attack.
Well, I actually I'll be able to move where I need to without you needing to send me anywhere. So don't count me in that numbers. I have plenty of ways to move around the battlefield in similar like fashions.
That's good to know.
But if I see you do it, I will definitely know that it's time for me to be ready to potentially offer my support.
I could probably get away pretty quickly too. I'm kind of agile. I can get away. Worst case scenario.
What are you thinking, Stormblaze? Do you have plays in your head that you could like write out for us?
I think if you put me right up close and personal with whomever, I'll be alright with that.
Do you want an exit plan? Like, would you consent to being pulled out of battle if we were all to decide to retreat and you were like, in the heat of battle up in the front? Like, would you be down for like this is the exit plan?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, cool. That's good to know.
Has it been a long rest or no?
This is the morning. Oh, you've been sending all those sendings though. So
Yeah, that
uh,
like just happened like
yeah,
5 minutes ago.
not even 5 minutes. It like
No, the sending was the day before. I'm specifically asking for the my Word of Recall spell.
oh, okay, yeah. Well,
Well,
oh, was it Luthien doing the sending to Hildebrandus?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, then yeah, you've had a long rest.
okay.
Bruce.
I was gonna I would well, it's student character. Actually, now might be a good time for me to check back with my friend in Darwinium about whether or not he knows this defense employing gnome.
That would be great.
Feel like that might be good information, considering it might affect what we're about to talk about.
Right. right.
So Dan, if you allow, I will cast sending.
Then, so we still haven't gotten to learn all that much about your friend there. So if you could give us like a brief description of who he is as a person, and then what your 25 words are.
Yes. That real quick. It is dwarves primarily, Darminium, right?
Gnomes.
It is gnomes mostly. Okay, good. I just want to
Yeah.
make sure. Yeah, dwarves was a city before with the arena. Okay, good. Well, this friend, I don't have his name. I should know that. I'll have to come back with that later. But he is a gnome, an older gnome who was a bit of a craftsman. He liked to carve things, made various staffs, weapons, quarter staffs as well. My character, as you've seen, carries a quarter staff. So he also learned and studied a lot of the martial arts that come with that sort of weaponry. But he's an older man now, and when Roos met him, he was already, getting on in age. No, he's actually would have been. He's much younger because he's a different species. So he'd have been probably like at the prime of his career, but he's much older now. And Roos and him spent most of the last years he was with him, spending time on playing chess, dragon chess, and various games and um, instruments and things on at the local hangout spots. Almost like you see the old people doing tai chi in the park. It's similar to that. That's what they kind of did. And so his buddy's really well connected, a really friendly guy, but kind of blue collar sort of gentleman. That's all. So the message I'll send is, "Hey there, good friend. I may not have much time to talk today, but I wanted to check in on my inquiry about a gnome wizard and defense warforged." Might have over a word or two. I think I was on to.
Wherever you're at, that's fine. That's close enough.
Okay.
I hate trying to make a coherent message with sending.
It always makes the pacing of the message feel strange because you have to like kind of slow yourself down like one at a time.
Yeah.
To be fair, it does suddenly intrude on someone's day out of the middle of nowhere, so it's always going to
Yeah.
be strange no matter what.
I guess that's fair.
Except when it's used in sequence. I'm just pulling EM buffering. Oh, that's on paper. Oh, that Bunzik. I hear he has gone missing after hiring defense. He's an apprentice of Zimik, the artillerist maestro.
Was that Zillik or Zinnik? I'm sorry.
I'm gonna type him out for you in
Okay, great.
chat.
Thank
I'll put in the world info.
you. Okay. Um, I'll relay that to the team before I send a response back to him. I will say that he says that he's gone missing. The wizard that you're looking for has gone missing, but that he was an apprentice of Zillik or Zinnik.
Zimik,
Zinnik, the dot dot dot
artillerist maestro.
that artillerist maestro. Wunzik Zolkar, apprentice to Zimik, the artillerist maestro. Oh, so his name is Wunzik Zolkar. Okay. And his name is Wunzik Zolkar. Does any of that ring a bell to any of your needs?
No, but I am very happy that we now have a name.
Names are quite useful. Anything else you'd like me to ask my friend? I don't know. I think that's all the information he has. It seemed pretty conclusive.
Also, that he's gone missing.
Oh yes, that is. Yeah. Well, no, I said that originally. He went missing.
Oh yeah, we knew that.
But he
part.
was the instructor of, or he was an apprentice of Zimik, the artillerist maestro. 1/6 Zolkar.
And just a refresher, because I know it's been a long time for you guys, but not as much for the characters. The maestros are kind of the council of craftsmen that oversee the town.
Back in Darwinium, right?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yup.
Under what circumstances did he, I can't say the name. Under what circumstances did he go missing? Did it seem like he was taken, or did he disappear of his own volition?
That is a great question. Let me find that out. Okay, so I cast sending, and I will say, excellent information. Do you know the circumstances under which he went missing? Or any other helpful information?
Well, he had a laboratory that's defenses were all destroyed, and there was a portal in the basement that was sealed over in molten stone.
He says that he had a laboratory that was destroyed, and there was a portal in the basement that was sealed over with molten stone. That's all the information it seems he has. Hopefully that's useful. Maybe new information to you.
Did we seal that portal in the basement? Was that us? Mara, like, honestly asked that looking back at the rest of the party.
I think that was us.
I don't remember us actually sealing the. This is a player thing. I don't actually remember us sealing the portal. So.
Stormblaze, did you like seal it off somehow?
Me? How?
I don't know, by like melting the walls in a fiery way. I don't know.
Your characters would almost definitely remember the encounter with the Balor. That you guys killed, and everything as it was dying started to turn to magma as the rift was closed, and like the entire chamber was turning into molten stone.
Oh, okay. So
Oh,
we did seal
right.
that.
Got it.
Okay, cool. I was like nervous for a second. I was like, who cleaned up our mess? Like, did we do that or was?
This was absolutely your guys' doing. Like,
Okay, cool. At least
yeah.
we sealed it. Props us. High five, everybody.
We did it, fam.
So knowing that, I'll cast one more sending spell to respond to him and say, it turns out I'm with the group that sealed it. Thank you for the information. Do you still live adjacent to that nosy gnome woman with the accent?
Clarification point. What race is your friend?
He's no.
Okay. Oh, actually. See, that was her way of flirting. So moved across the street as well.
Are you breaking up for anyone else? Dan, you're breaking up. I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Oh, my microphone shifted.
Oh, gotcha. Now you're fine. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
But I didn't hear the reply.
Let me reset. I had it in my brain. Oh no, actually, that was her way of flirting. So, I've actually moved across the street as well.
Oh, I'm out of sending spells. I would love to reply to that, but I'm out of sending spells. You guys would just hear Roos laughing to himself. That's it.
Old gnomes still need companionship as well.
That was so wholesome.
I love it.
So the wizard professor disappeared before we got there. So we still don't know if he disappeared off his own volition or not.
Well,
I'm legit player trying to remember what defense told us, like that his master just up and
defense
left.
honestly didn't really tell us a lot. He
So,
got us through the situation, and I applaud him for that.
yeah, so Devens told you that he went to town for supplies, and when he came back, the research station's what'd you call them? Mechanical construct defense systems were activated and would not let him in. So he needed your help destroying those. They were the defenders and those ballistas and things like that in order to get in to see what happened. But that's really all he knows is he left, he came back, and all those defenses were turned on.
So he could be back at that friggin' house, back at square one all along. Conspiracy theories abound. Okay, well let's I feel like this wizard would not know a lot of information about Imix. So we should focus on one thing at a time.
Yeah. That's good with me.
Everybody else cool with that?
I just very uncomfortably. I mean, Hildebrand is.
I know. There is also the option of splitting up. I could go
What?
and I mean, like, people's roads go in different paths, and if we're kind of like all agreed on a future goal, then maybe our paths will one day cross in the future. We all do want to go see the ocean, together at some point. But if it does ever feel like things split off, I could just go and work on cleaning up this mess.
No, no, no. You promised me to help me with my village. And that shit is coming up way too
Do
fucking
you-
fast.
Honestly, Stella, I want you to look me in the eye and tell me you trust me entering your village without something going haywire.
Oh, something is definitely going to go haywire, but there's no way I'm stepping into that village without you.
You honestly want me at your side in there with who
You-
knows what that could be at the center of that
You
could.
promised.
Mara takes a deep breath and lets it out slowly.
Promises are binding where I come from.
I did promise, but I just want to make sure that you understand what I promised myself to, and I'm giving you an out if you want it.
She'll like laugh lightly and be like, "Look, whatever is going on in my village is not it's not something that even I can handle by myself. And especially I don't know, they're so stuck in their ways. Maybe having outside people would at least move the situation along. I don't want to go alone. I would rather have all of you with all your chaos and everything going on than going back there by myself."
All right.
Stella's out of breath of her own.
I'm down for going to Stella's village.
So it sounds like once again, north is the direction we need to head.
Yeah.
Question for Dan. Do we have to cut back through that dude's property for the most direct route?
You don't
Like, we
have to
have to
cut
go
through.
hop his fence again?
You don't have to cut through his property because remember he's on like a plateau. So going up the plateau is kind of counterintuitive to also have to go down the plateau. I'll bring you guys over so you guys
Oh,
can
so
see the
we
world
could
map
we could
again.
just follow the river this time.
Yeah, so I brought you guys over so we can see um the whole thing. So you guys would be coming in from the southeast if you come in from town up the river, and you could go all the way up there and all the way up through that lake. And the lake is like it's mountain and glacier runoff, so it's like it's not going to go over the mountain. It's on this side of it, so you'd still have to go over the mountains, but going through that lake would get you very far up there, and then you'd have a mountain pass to do, but it wouldn't be as bad as like, yeah, you wouldn't have to go. Let me just pull up a ruler. That's not a ruler. Can you guys see my ruler?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, going up through here, you could follow the water, and there would be tough tides because there's like rapids and stuff here, but you'd be able to get up and ford across like the rapids, and then with Naya's water bending powers, you'd be able to fight against the current no problem to get up there versus going all the way around and back up here again and then over the mountains
Oh,
this
this is
way.
amazing. Okay, yeah, no, fuck
Yeah,
that guy.
yeah,
We're not even gonna step foot on his property.
taking the direct water route, I mean, it would put you going right at the base of his property. Skirting around there.
Woohoo!
Very close to his estate. But no, you would not actually have to enter his estate. You'd probably want to make sure that you're taking your any breaks or whatever your nightly rests on the east side of the river rather than the west
Oh,
side.
yes.
But yes, you could certainly avoid it taking the water out.
Can I do a history check for Blade Lords?
Yes. Two.
I also had really crappy internet that session. It was mainly the Blade Lords, right? And then everything else was its minions.
Yeah, so the Blade Lords were essentially like lieutenants of a lich. They each can control a few minions of their own, and then the lich controls them. So you don't know if like slaying the lich would kill the Blade Lords and kill all the minions. Like that's something that I feel like you kind of speculated in the moment that you kill the Lich and all the minions die, but you don't know that to really be the case. If you kill the Lich, the Blade Lords might still be their own kind of ringleaders with their own undead under them. But as far as you know, the organizational structure is that they act under the control of a more powerful undead typically who has raised them.
Do I know anything that would be helpful regarding fighting a Blade Lord?
Um, pretty standard undead stuff, immune to poison, resistance to necrotic, um magical or silvered weapons, but you all already have that stuff. Um they're they're strong fighters. Um but they're not even on the level of like a death knight. They're weaker on their own, but where they have their strength is they command uh each of them typically a squad of lesser undead. So it's the allies they bring into battle with them that are a key strength.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay. Anything else you guys would like to do today in town, or are you guys setting off immediately, or are you guys gonna wait and spend one more night here before you head out?
Are we all in agreement to head towards Stella, or are we heading towards Hildebrandus?
I mean, either way, we have to go north.
True.
I would like a night's rest. I do need to replenish some of my spells. Uh, but also, if we can start out and rest when night comes as well. I'm not too worried about any.
I mean, we might as well take advantage of the hotel rooms that have likely already been paid for tonight.
Well thought. I agree.
Yeah. Plus, I need to talk to Sasha about her decision.
Sounds like you've made yours.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's for the best. Have you thought about yours?
About final ends, but I do think I need to be moving in that direction. I guess that's kind of a cop out. I haven't really chosen other than to put things off further.
All right. What is your gut telling you right now? Just don't even think about it for more than a second. Just think about the question and what's the immediate answer that comes to your mind.
Head over the mountains with you all, but that didn't seem like that was an option when we talked last.
I mean, I don't think anyone has a problem with you coming along. You can see my creepy village and or a death knight, you know? You can keep adventuring with us. There's nothing wrong with that. And if you decide halfway through that you want to go back, like, that's fine too.
I have no intention in really going back and staying. It's deciding where to settle. But either way, the path heads over the mountain.
All right. Well, then that's what we'll do.
So we could set out now, or we could take the night, ready your things, and set out in the morning.
Yeah.
The
I mean,
wagons we oh, go ahead.
yeah, I think it's probably up to the rest of the group. I mean, I could leave right now, to be honest, but some people want soft beds and things. I'm used to sleeping in trees, so.
The wagons we certainly can't take. You could try to take the horses, but we need to get much bigger boats in order to handle that. That might be
Yeah.
complication.
Oh, well, I think probably we won't want to take anything except for what we have on us. The forest can be treacherous, to say the least.
Well, in the mountains more so.
Yeah, I'm talking about where I'm from. It's completely pitch black dark, especially as you get towards the center. So, yeah, it's going to be a difficult journey all around. But let's talk to the others and see what they want to do.
Does anyone have any other
How
odds and
long?
ends?
How long is it to Stella's village?
Going all the way around, it was going to be a few months. Going over the mountains, let me see. I had kind of figured based off the size of the other map. Let me just kind of remeasure it. I want to make sure I'm saying stuff accurately. Somewhere between 2 weeks and a month, depending how good you guys are at navigating the treacherous terrain.
Okay, I'm gonna go buy provisions for all of us, aka rations, for the projected time.
Okay.
Ice has that already.
You have it already? You don't need to
Yep.
restock?
Nope. Restock on the way.
Okie dokie. Well, then I guess we don't need that. Does anybody need like crackers or like specific cookies that they like in town that they want to get packed up before we leave?
Oh, there is a bakery on the far end of town that I definitely recommend. They have some wonderful pastries. If you get in early, you can usually get some of the supply before it's sold. Before it sells
Well, what time is it right now?
It's like 1 o'clock. 1
I'm
p.m.
gonna go at 1 o'clock in the afternoon to this bakery that he spoke of and see what's left.
They usually have some good things around 1 o'clock. You're just not going to get their meat pies, and I'm not a meat eater, but I hear the meat pies are
That's
quite amazing.
okay. Honestly, we have a lot of vegetarians here. You'll fit in quite well. Let me go check out to see what this bakery has. And now Dan has to invent a bakery.
Sorry, Dan.
I have exactly what I want for inspiration in my brain, and I'm just trying to roll back my memories to that because it's been a couple years since I've Okay. There's a strudel that is a cherry strudel, and it's the last piece, and it's like it looks like it would be really delicious, but it's been like beat to hell. Like it's kind of like someone cut off the adjacent pieces with a hacksaw.
So basically, I'm gonna walk in and buy like whatever's left,
Yeah.
and just tell me how much that is.
I need to come up with descriptions though. This is necessary. Um,
Because I kind of want to snack on that strudel while you're discussing the rest of the other ones, and I'm just like,
yeah.
yeah, throw that in a bag too.
There is a spinach and feta cheese pretzel. Except it's like it's clearly been made by an apprentice baker because it's not tied at all right. Like it's it's like someone cut the laces off of a shoe. Like they tried to tie, like, rather than a pretzel, it was like a bow tie. And then they kind of smashed it into, like, it looks like a deformed ear of a giant, but it's delicious. But it's
I know
just
what I'm
like,
bringing back, Stella.
um,
Not gonna lie, your descriptions make this supposedly highly recommended bakery not sound great.
well, this is the leftovers. Like everything is like super picked over.
This is 1 p.m.
Um,
at a morning bakery.
Yeah, they close at 2.
and then, no, I think that's it. Those are the two things that are there.
That's it. Those are the last two things. I get them.
Yeah.
Uh, do they have like
I,
any
I,
like
so,
cookies
so
in
I just,
bags that I can bring back? Do they have
yeah.
just like bags of cookies?
There's a bag of gingerbread men that are all broken. It's like all the seconds.
Perfect. We're doing this.
So for the first two things, I thought about like what were my favorite things at Chris Kindlemarkt and how can I describe them unappetizingly. um,
I love it.
yeah,
Oh,
you have decapitated gingerbread men.
Who's
Well,
making gingerbread man in the middle of May?
You don't know their culture.
they're gingerbread elves.
I bring back the treats and I split the deformed, delicious sounding pretzel between Stella and Naya and pass the cookies around to everybody else. And be like, this is what was left of the bakery.
Oh,
We try to stop by in the morning.
that sounds about right. Yeah, they eat it up quick over there, but it's worth it. It's delicious. And I'll munch into the gingerbread cookie very happily.
I do have to recommend if you ever go to Chris Kindlemarkt, get the spinach and feta pretzel. It is delicious.
Yes, it is the best thing in the world.
They sound like really, really good.
That's a real thing.
I mean, if anyone wants to go to Chicago for a day, we can all meet up if they do the market this year. I don't know if they will or not,
I hope they do.
because that would be fun.
Yeah, I'd be down for it.
Yeah,
And any
last year was the
out of towners, I have beds in my home. So if anyone wants to visit just for like a short weekend, you are more than welcome in my house.
It looks like it's happening this year based on their website.
Ooh, yes.
yeah, last year was the first year I didn't go in probably like 6 or 7 years. I usually take my mom down there for a day.
It starts on Cowboy Bebop Day and ends on Christmas Eve.
Yes. That's perfect.
Did you say Cow Biddy Bob Day?
Cowboy Bebop Day, November 19th. The new Netflix show starts on November 19th, so it's an official holiday, an unofficial official holiday at my household.
Gotcha. But Cowboy Bebop, like the manga.
Yeah, the anime that they're making into a live action that comes out on the 19th of November. That actually looks really good. But I digress. Don't get me on that rabbit hole. I'll go forever.
Yeah. Dan, I forgot one more thing I needed to get. Um, replenishing the bag of nuts and getting 10 pounds of dried fruit.
10 pounds of dried fruit. Oh. 10 pounds of already dried fruit would be a lot more expensive because dried fruit weighs a lot less. You could probably get all that for like, I don't know, 8 gold.
Cool. 8 gold. Got it. I have everything else.
All right. Anything else you guys would like to do today?
I'm good.
I'm good.
I really want you guys to keep visiting the fortune teller, but I think you all are terrified of
Uh,
it.
Sarah the player wants to go to the fortune teller. Can we come up with an excuse for why Stella would want to go to the fortune teller?
Well, now that you're heading towards your village, you want to get a little bit more direction from her.
And
Ooh, okay,
Bruce may
okay,
have never been to the fort. Has Bruce been to the
Yeah,
fortune
okay.
Bruce
teller?
hasn't been. Or he
Yeah.
Well,
might have been in town, but he
yeah.
hasn't in canon.
Should I roll for that, Dan? Because I'm okay with either possibility.
Um, so first question would be how keen would he be in things like fortune telling?
He'd be pretty interested in them, but I don't know if he would go. He would definitely know about the shop. I don't know if he would have gone to it. If it was the only one in town, he would have gone to it. If there's multiple, he probably would not have.
Okay, roll me a d100.
Okay.
He's absolutely been there.
Okay.
I'll say that Stella is facing her fears. She's no longer running away from anything. And as it becomes night and probably before like dinner or something, she'll just turn to whoever is near her, Sasha, I guess, and be
Yeah.
like, I'll be right back. And like rush out the door.
Where are you going?
The fortune teller lady. Yep. I'll be back. It'll be fine.
Okay.
Oh, the fortune teller.
Mm.
Yeah, Sasha really doesn't want to go again.
Oh, I'm sorry. Roos, do you want to come?
Oh well, sure. I mean, I'm always up for a good walk. Good.
Oh, yes, of course. The weather is pretty good this evening.
Sure. I've been to her shop a couple times. She seems quite skilled at reading people's fortunes.
Yes, in an almost completely terrifying way. Yeah.
I guess that depends on the fortune she reads, but yes, I could see that.
Yeah, it's mostly I mean, last time I was there, I asked her, some rather um personal questions and I got answers that seemed like extremely accurate.
Mm.
And it was a little terrifying, I guess, for someone to just kind of like see right through you like that.
Would you consider yourself a thrill seeker?
Um, yeah, I guess so. I like a
Mm.
little adventure.
Oh, well then let's adventure. Anyone else coming?
No, thank you.
Mm. Hmm.
I think I'm done tempting the fate, so I will also not be joining this adventure.
That's fine. I completely understand.
Tempt more fates.
No, no.
God whispers from the heavens.
Shut up, James.
Shut up.
All right, so just Stella and Roos.
Yeah.
All right, you guys make your way through the streets, um, up past the expensive skull and the shops, past the leaky tramp, past the inkwell, where I don't think either of you have gotten tattoos. Would Roos have a tattoo?
No, no, no. Probably.
Okay, Roos has not gotten a tattoo.
He's not against them. He just doesn't have one.
And into the fortune teller shop. Oh, back again, I see.
Yes, it's been a while. Oh, do you two know each other?
Dan, how
Oh,
would she recognize me? Probably, right?
oh, we've all met here. Not together, but yes. How have your fortunes been holding out?
Um, you know,
Great.
after oh, okay. She's like, like
I take
clearly.
that as I take that as a sign. I I I feel you. I get what you're
Mhm.
putting into the world.
Mhm.
Are both
Yeah.
of you interested in readings today?
Oh, are you,
Oh,
Bruce?
sure. I'm always interested in hearing what a fellow observer of the world has to say. So yeah, I'm always down for a reading. But I'll let the young lady go first.
Oh,
Okay.
very well, shall we?
Would you like me to leave the room, Stella?
Um, it if you would like to stay, you're more than welcome to. It won't be anything beyond what you should probably already know, I
Oh,
guess.
great. Well, I'm always curious, so I'll stay.
Great, 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 great.
All right. Ice, are you ready?
Yep. She will pull out a very familiar looking carrot deck, place it on the center of the table, gestures to you, cut the deck. Where do you cut it?
I cut it in the bottom quarter,
Bottom quarter, cut it again.
and then this time I will cut it in the middle.
Middle. What is your question?
She would like direction in terms of how to proceed with going back home.
Um, oh, this is fun.
Oh god. I
Can
just
I
want you
just
to know every time, every time we do these fortune telling things, the sound that goes off in my head is the beginning of Immigrant Song, where it's just the screaming, and it's just that over and over again. Ah.
It's actually kind of creepy how like accurate these are. Hang on, let me take a picture of your spread for you. Um,
Oh, yeah. Ironically, I'm doing some like drawing prompts for October and I'm super behind. And the one I'm working on right now is Fortune Teller.
nice.
So we are here.
Um, I should have taken. It's top is left.
Oh, okay.
So you have a reverse priestess, a tower, and strength. So
Oh, God.
sounds like there've been quite a few secrets in your past that you may be really curious about, and it looks like because of those secrets, there might be a sudden change and upheaval, um, a revelation possibly. And it looks like you're going to need a lot of. Crap, I'm blanking on strength. Oh, yeah. You're going to need a lot of strength and courage and compassion to navigate this upcoming challenge.
Okay. Yeah. Um, that that seems right.
Dan, what did she charge? I forgot. Was it one
Ah,
gold piece?
I think it was a gold.
Yeah. She'll give the gold, but like she's like still thinking on what was said. And so she kind of leaves like a little mystified. And then sort of like gestures towards Bruce to if he wants a reading.
Roos will sit down, and if you see me, you can see the gesture. But you know, like the hand rub, you clap your hands again, you rub them, all excited. Um, well,
Like,
it's been a while. I guess maybe just a general reading. Surprise me.
all right. She'll place the deck in the center of the table again. Gestures to you to cut the deck.
He will cut it as close as he can to the middle.
Middle. And cut it again.
You cut it again, you said?
Yep.
He will cut it again as close as he can to the middle.
General reading for Roos. Damn, all my major arcana cards. Let me take a picture of this for you. Sorry. Tarot card reader buffering. Again, top is left. It looks like in your there's been either a lot of actually, I take that back. Yep. There's been a lack of discipline in your past. Pro- potentially as a form of rebellion due to excessive control. And this has led to a lot of recklessness and risk taking with current ventures that may actually turn out well. It may lead to, a change in personal beliefs and freedom and successfully challenging the status quo of what you are familiar with.
Well, that sounds exactly like what I'm after. I'm always up for an adventure.
Certainly sounds like that's what you are up against, especially if you are going to be, she gestures to Stella, heading off with this young lady over here.
Well, it's been a long time since I've had a proper adventure, and I think I got some good years left in me.
I wish both of you all the best. And she kind of looks expectantly at you.
Oh yeah, I'll place a couple of gold coins down.
Thank you very much. Would either one of you be looking for another reading today?
Stella is now just paying attention. She's like processing in the back. And she's like, "Oh no, I'm good." And she places another gold coin down like she didn't pay the first time and like walks out of the tent.
Bruce will linger just for a moment. I'll say to the fortune teller, "It's all right. A lot of the ones who come out of our village seem to go through similar um, moments of existential crisis. I quite enjoy it."
What?
Uh-huh. And you kind of see her nodding in a sense of like, oh, now that makes sense.
What the heck?
And Bruce will leave and say, "The other day we talked about whether or not you were. We didn't. We talked about much, but you hinted that you were uncertain of your future. You just know that there's something you needed to address. Is that something you want my assistance or presence for?"
Um, yeah, honestly, if you don't mind going on a trek, honestly, I could probably use all the help that I could get. And I feel like this might be a very strange thing to say, but you seem very similar to kind of like the sages in my village. Just very calm, and I think I'm gonna need calm in the near future.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. I will say that, while I don't know if I'm a sage per se, 350 years of mistakes makes to generally know the right thing to do.
Yeah, I suppose so. I don't know if you've noticed, probably maybe hasn't made itself apparent quite yet, but our group can be very chaotic um at times, which, has its benefits in certain areas. In others, not not so much, but we could probably use with someone um I guess just a clearer mind, clearer head.
Well, I will do my best. You definitely do seem like a chaotic bunch, but I've seen and been through war. I've seen and been through conflicts, and changes of power, and that uncertainty um, is kind of always present and possible. Maybe as you guys shore up your goals and your objectives, you'll find that the uncertainty uh, starts to fade, and if not, then you can cross that bridge when you get there. I will say that there seems to be a lot of um, I don't want to judge, but it seems like there might have been a good amount of indiscriminate killing in the past, and I may not be party to some of that, but I also will. I do my best to help those in need. Um,
Yeah, no, you should definitely do that. And yes, that definitely probably did happen. And we were not to make excuses or anything, but we were really not thinking about our actions when we started traveling together, and mistakes were made.
Understood. Like I said, 350 years worth of them for me, and I'm not a pacifist by any means. I have fought many times, and will probably fight many more times. But I just make sure that the times I'm fighting, I have aligned myself with where I feel uh, I should, and sometimes that means uh, and well, that might get a little bit more deeper than we want. But sometimes I will. I found that I will not act uh, if I'm unsure of what is the clear path,
Hmm.
and that has usually done well for me with a few occasions that I don't want to burden you with now.
Well, if you ever need to talk or anything, I'd be happy to listen. But that is very sound advice, and we'd be glad to. Um, well, I would be glad to take that advice and hopefully do it justice.
I will stay out of the way as much as a 7'7" elephant can.
Thank you for coming with me.
Of
You could
course.
probably tell I was a bit nervous.
Mm.
She's
Yes,
just so accurate.
she is quite good. Yes, yes. But um, you'll get where you need to go. I'm sure of it.
Thank you. Well, I'm sure the others are probably having drinks by now.
Let's join it.
Mara
And
is
we're off.
absolutely doing shots with Naya right now. Like that's what's happening.
Perfect.
They're getting trashed at the bar.
If
Stella will join as she walks in.
There's like a small pile of gold, and Chudward is pretending to be a dragon guarding it, but also slipping the bartender hella tips. So the shots just keep coming.
And little do you know, Chudward is actually a dragon.
I believe
Ah!
it.
It's like a magic card thing.
Naya and Mara are actually discussing the possibility of Chudward being a secret dragon as you
Ice will be
approach.
Yeah, Ice will be joining you for shots, and you kind of hear her mumbling under her breath every once in a while, like things about death knights and undeads.
I don't know a whole lot about Death Knight, so I'm gonna take your word on it at this moment.
She's more saying
But
things like,
also, look at fucking Chudward over there. Isn't he cute?
yeah, she's mainly saying things like, don't hit him, let it be, just he's a Death Knight, but just don't hit him first.
I'd pass you another shot when you say don't hit him first. And like, I'm gonna reinforce this.
Definitely doubting that.
Oh man, it's gonna be interesting to say the least. But we'll have Chudward with us, so that's something.
All right. If you guys don't mind a little aside,
Hoo-hoo.
we will cut away from your character's vision to the fortune teller's tent, where the flap is pulled aside and a Goliath steps through. Oi, good day, mate. Sunny day, ain't it?
Not in here. No, it's not.
Oh, it is out there.
Fair enough. Are you here for a reading?
That would be quite good, I think.
Very well. She will gesture for him to sit at the table.
He's a big fella, but not as big as Roos was. And he will take a seat in front of the fortune teller.
Please tell me my chair holds up.
If it could support Roos, it will support Baddock.
Gotcha. She will place the deck in front of him. What are you looking for today?
Whatever the next steps may be.
Very well. Do you have a specific question?
He'll sit down a coin with a compass rose and spin it on the table. He'll knock it so it comes down to a rest, and the arrow where the primary point is facing. Is that the right way?
Okay. She'll gesture to him. Cut the deck.
He'll kind of be picking up a card at a time in his fingers and kind of being eyeing her until like it's enough to actually be considered a cut and not just counting off the top.
Wait, so where does he actually cut it? Or is he like just taking the cards
He's
one at a time?
yeah, he's like inching his way down. He's like picking up one card, picking up two cards, picking up three cards, and seeing like when you actually consider it a cut, or you would like say, no, that's not a cut or not.
I will not give him a reaction and just watch him. I am doing what you're saying he's doing now, so
Yeah.
let me know if he wants to stop.
Oh, whenever he gets a reaction from the fortune teller that like, yeah, that's enough to be a cut.
Gotcha. She will maintain eye contact. I really wish you could do this in person. Alright, she twitches.
Okay. He cuts it there.
Alright. And she will look at him strangely and go, that's different. Gestures to him. Cut it again.
He closes his eyes, pushes the deck so that it kind of fans out, and then he just kind of places his finger down randomly and cuts there.
Oh god, I hate you. Hang on, let me move something so I have space for that. So he's gonna fan it out. Roughly where in the fan will he poke?
He'll aim towards the bottom.
Wait, hang on. I can fan it out in a circle, but it's gonna take a little bit of work. It's been a while since
It doesn't need to be a full circle, just enough that like it has some dimensionality to it where it's
Okay, I have a circle fanned out. Give me a clock direction.
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. Yes. And then she looks at him expectantly.
Again?
Nope, that was your answer. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Let me roll a dice behind the screen.
Please tell me I made it so that Baddock comes with us.
The coin was facing southeast.
He's not coming.
Unless he goes the complete opposite direction of the right way.
If the answer was no, he probably would have started heading northwest, which is pretty much the right direction. But no, he'll head back to the Leaky Tramp for the evening.
Come back, do over.
His motivations are as chaotic as his accents.
That tracks.
They are both fantastic.
So you guys, just to be clear, you guys could still seek him out, but this was my way of determining if he would seek you guys back out or not.
Got it.
Did Roos meet him? He was at the places too, right?
No, he was not. He spent this whole time in town at the Leaky Tramp.
Okay, I was just wondering because of sending. So the only person who could
By the
send to him.
way, for funsies. Ooh, I think Matt just broke up.
Oh, sorry. And I was just saying that the only person that can send to him is Luthien.
Yeah.
As a side, the card that Baddock pulled is the High Priestess, which is a card of intuition. Baddock would have totally died if he came with us, I guess.
Wow. There we go. Also, you need to teach me tarot. I knew so long ago and I've forgotten everything.
I have a cheat sheet now. It's been a while for me too. Like, as long as I have the keywords, I'll remember how to put them together.
All right. Anything you guys would like to discuss this evening, or are you guys ready to set out the next morning?
I think I'm ready for the next morning.
Yeah, I'm
I
good.
didn't have any other specifics.
Take that long rest. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, you guys can go ahead. Are you guys returning to your respective hotels? Or are you all hanging out at the Longing Piano? And where has Roos been staying?
I'd imagine that since Roos has been here a while, we established, meaning probably years, he probably has a place.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
But it would be very, very modest accommodations. Like it could even be almost like a long staying hostel, like a dorm structure.
Yeah. Yep. Where you probably like kind of fold your bedding and leave it on the foot of the bed and just disappear and people know you're gone.
Yeah, that sort of thing. Yep.
Like, oh, he finally moved away.
Yep.
Good for him.
I would probably be going back to the Lovely Lioness since me and Naya seem to like that place.
Yep, the classier joint.
They have good cocktails.
We are piss ass drunk on shots though. Ice is going with them because I think the three of us were rooming together.
Yeah. If they're continuing to drink, Stella will go, but then make the trip back across town to her room with Sasha.
We'll just stay drinking with Sasha then.
But you guys are going drinking.
We'll have like Quantum Girls Night on
But you
opposite ends
said
of
the
town.
cocktails were good. How
They
can I
are
not
pretty good.
try
Do you
the
want to come with us,
cocktails?
Sasha? I don't want her to walk home alone through town, and then I
I'm
would have to walk her back,
fine.
and
And
I would have to walk back, and then we'd just be walking each other back and forth out of
Stella will
politeness.
like lightly try to bring out her bow. I'd be like, I'm fine.
Come with us, Sasha.
If she needs a chaperone, I can certainly hold my liquor.
I don't need a chaperone.
That's the spirit.
I'm as sober as I've
Onward
ever
to
been.
spirits.
Roll a deception.
Oh, here we go.
I
Kinda
believe
good.
you.
Oh, but maybe
No,
maybe just for the way back.
sure. No,
Like,
you
yeah.
can come if you want cocktails. Like,
Yeah, come.
but I'm
come-
fine. I'm fine. I'm good. But
for
come if you
cocktails.
want cocktails.
Yes, dear.
Are we married? Stella walking up to her dad. Hi, Dad, whom I hate. This is my wife that I married.
That's a beautiful plan, and we should definitely do
And,
that.
and this is how
It'll throw everyone
the
off.
and this is how the campaign devolves into a love triangle between Stella, Sasha, and
And
Luthien.
then Black shows up to say he objects to the marriage.
Yes.
Well,
Just
yeah, 'cause
because he can.
she'd be swearing off her royalty by marrying a commoner. I can't support that.
Are you
Wait.
gonna have a petition?
Not royal.
In
Am I
black.
am I the only person that caught that Stella would tell her dad that she made a wife?
I carved it out of my own 2 hands.
I made this wife, yeah. Because if she's meeting her dad, she is drunk. Like, there is no. Her and her dad do not get along. She is definitely going to take like 20 shots before she enters her village.
We need to grab like half a dozen bottles of firewater before we leave town.
Pretty
Just
much.
ask Ice for some blood wine.
Yes.
You only need a shot.
That will probably do it, yeah. No, she's going to walk into her village just stumbling and be like, I made a wife. These are my friends. Let them in. He's going to be like, what the fuck happened to you?
I love that.
Roll an insight check for me, just for funsies.
Me?
Yeah, at disadvantage.
Okay. Hold on. That's disadvantage. Oh, damn.
Sasha was not flirting with you. That was just a random sign of not random, but it was just a casual sign of affection.
Yes.
Okay, well,
Like you guys have roomed with each other for a while. Deer was just like it was just a I forget what the name of that term of speech is, but it was just a endearing way to refer to you.
Term
To
of endearment.
express yes. It was a term of endearment. It was an endearing way to
No,
refer to you. Yeah.
Stella will be like, because she's on drunk brain right now, she'll be like, Sasha for this evening is my wife. And if Sasha needs anything, Stella will be like, my wife is asking for something. I do that with my friends all the time. Whenever they're at bars or anything, I'm like, my wife is asking you for something.
there's already a hashtag for this ship. You can't stop it.
Yeah, it's too late. We're already here.
What's the hashtag? I don't see it.
Well, I haven't typed anything yet, but
Oh, okay.
we're doing
We're
a
coming
girls'
up with
night
it.
out thing.
Wait, what's our couple name?
By there's already
Stella, would it be like
Stasasha?
so by there's already a hashtag. It means hold up. I'm gonna
Stella?
come up with a hashtag.
Look, I didn't expect you to call my bluff. This is how I deal with most things.
Stella? It
Stasha?
doesn't. Stasha? That might work.
Was Sasha at the sea episode with us?
She was not. She
Oh.
in town crafting Luthien's armor.
Dang, I was gonna do like a seashell reference. Okay, so it's really hard to come up with a hashtag for these two, but I fully support this endeavor regardless.
Stasha?
We'll
Poor,
let-
poor Luthien. The ladies go off for a night, and his love interest is getting shipped with someone else.
That's what
we'll let
happened.
Twitter figure this one out, okay?
Luthien blew it on his own.
That's what happens. I'm a better boyfriend than you.
Snap.
100%.
Go and arm wrestle with Stormblaze about it.
Oh, damn.
Is Justin really soft for everyone else or just me?
Yeah.
Try and turn up my volumes.
I think it's also because of the ambient noise that you got around you.
Yeah, that's probably not helpful.
Are you like somewhere else?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I'm actually on the
he's
bus
on.
right now.
Yeah, he's in a bus.
Gotcha.
Are we on the road again?
On the road again?
Not yet. We have to wake up and then go on the road.
Yeah.
gotcha.
So if there's anything you guys would like to chat just the ladies about, you can, or we can just kind of pick up in the morning.
Ladies, do we need to discuss anything?
Not unless you do, Stella. Otherwise, shots, and I'll give you all a lesser restoration so you don't get a hangover in the morning before you go to bed.
Excellent.
Because I know how to party hard.
Now, should we interrogate Sasha about her crush? Dun dun dun.
Wait,
Now
who
that the
did-
boys are gone.
Who did Sasha crush?
What crush? You just started flirting with me.
What? I can do that and you can still have a crush. Like, you don't have to flirt back. That's fine. She's like This is drunk me right now. You can say anything and I probably won't remember.
I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that. It's what crush? I don't know what you're talking about.
You're a liar and try again.
Ice will lean in to Mara and whisper, "Who did Sasha crush? Did she
That's
kill
what
someone in
I'm trying.
town?"
Well, oh wait, no. So this is like a different kind of crush. This is like soap opera crush. Do you know what a soap opera is? It's where someone stands on a soapbox and tells a fictional story about someone else's love life because they got burned.
Ice is very confused. She will just
Mara's not
Stab a
helping in
shot.
this situation. She's just forming strings of words together.
So
She's had a lot of cocktails.
So they crush people on
No.
stage?
No, it's like you love someone, but it's not quite love yet.
I know
You
how to explain
really
it. So you
like
know when
them.
you see a really, really cute animal and you want to just go up and
No,
like smush
no,
their
no, no,
little
no, no,
face
no,
and be
no, no,
like,
no.
"Oh, you're so cute."
No,
That's
that is
what
not.
a crush is, but with another person, and you can't actually kill them. You just like them so much, you want to just run up and be like, "Oh, I just want to smoosh your face because you're so cute."
I guess. I guess. But usually when it's with another person that you're crushing on, like it's an infatuation, sort of. But like maybe it'll become something else. You know, it's like pre-relationship, not like you don't have no relationship with that person, although sometimes you can. And she sort of like thinks on that for a second.
So you like this person so much you want to kill them, but then you don't kill them.
No. There's no killing
Sometimes.
involved. Oh.
No, I'm not actual killing, but
It
Wait,
is
so-
known to happen. There are
Yeah.
some very famous works of art revolving around the very topic of.
wanting to kill those who you love.
yeah.
Yeah.
Not saying that's a
Haven't
What
you
the
ever read
Applicable,
Shakespeare?
fuck are you reading?
So if player aside, are you guys familiar with Avenue Q?
Yes.
Yes.
The more you love someone. That song is literally playing in my head right now. So you do want to kill this person, but
No.
you like
Well,
them.
generally,
Did they give you a
generally
reason?
killing's not. They more want to like, be around each other and like be friends and stuff for the most part.
But you want to kill them.
It could come up, and then it would be a quandary in and of itself.
that's frenemies. Wanting to be friends but also wanting to kill, that's frenemies. That's not crush.
She's right about that one.
She's avoiding the question. You have a crush on someone? Be honest. It's just us ladies. And Stella uses her glass like it's a microphone. Puts it at Sasha.
Roll a persuasion.
Does the microphone help me?
it negates this event.
Incredible. All right. Oh!
I don't know. Maybe a little.
You don't have to tell us like how into this person you are. You can tell us. It's okay.
We've been on the road for a long time.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I don't know.
So
It's yeah. Well,
If you don't say the name, I'm gonna say the name.
what do you think? The thing I think you think I think is.
I think that you really like a certain goth in our party. See the way you look at him. I'm just saying.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Uh-huh. Does not believe her for a second.
Roll an insight.
While she's rolling, Ice will lean into Mara again. Sasha wants to kill Baddock?
No, Baddock's not a goth.
Mara
Baddock-
just screams to the bar.
Baddock's like Baddock's more of like a jock than a goth. No, goth like are the people that like wear all black and like do weird symbol things and like can you think of anybody like that?
A cultural goth, not a historic goth.
That sounds like the people that were using, she gestures to the right knife at her waist. We're using this to kill my people.
Well,
Jesus.
but also not like that. No, we're talking about Luthien here.
But also
I don't
not
think-
like that at all.
And Sasha just gets incredibly uncomfortable since Mara actually says the name.
And Mars is like over on the side, just like, oh, dude, I'm trying to translate as best I can.
Sasha, did Luthien upset you?
No, she likes Luthien.
Yeah, it's not the kill kind of crush. It's like the smush
No.
your face kind of crush.
Yeah. She
wants
likes him.
Yeah,
she
it-
wants to smush Luthien's face.
But in a cute way.
It's not. Mara, have you? I just kidding. It's just.
The gif that Matt just posted tomorrow literally does that with her own cheeks to emphasize the point.
It's no. That's not the end goal. Sometimes there is no goal. Sometimes you just like a person and you like them a bit more than like other people, but in a slightly romantic way. And sometimes a crush leads to like a romantic relationship. Sometimes. Not all the time.
Basically, she hates him the least right now.
What? Sasha likes
Oh.
me.
Well, but she
Not like
also would
likes, but I'm
hate
just
him
saying
the
likes.
least. I mean, I would think it would be a fair assessment.
well, no, that would be Naya.
That's legit. Naya, I hate you the least always.
I guess
Also,
that's
Matt,
fine.
please tell Ashley I said that.
So Sasha hates Naya the least out of everyone in our group.
Like hate. I don't hate any of you, but like if you're like if you've got to put people on a scale of like animosity, like how can you she's just like gesturing with her arms like outwards towards Naya, like how huh
What the heck? We've been rooming together for days.
Naya
but
just like puts on sunglasses.
you know what I mean.
Uh-huh. It's fine. It's fine. Naya is very cool. She's great.
But then second would be Luthien.
No, I appreciate our friendship very much, and I'm glad we like so you've helped me like more than anyone, and it's like but there's always some like you have to hold each other accountable, and there's like it's a different level than just someone who you see and you have happy times with. There's a different level to it. Like the people who make you better, they push you and they pressure you, and sometimes that makes you uncomfortable, and it's a good thing. But like things aren't like linear with a scale from 1 to 10. It's a confusing mess, and things don't always make sense and aren't always simple and aren't always clear. And
Cheers, I'll drink to that, bro.
yeah.
Yeah, those are very wise words.
Sasha just gets very quiet.
Ice's head has been bouncing back and forth, looking at whoever's talking this entire time, still looking extremely confused, and very slowly raises her glass to drink when everyone else does.
Don't worry, we won't tease you about Luthien in front of Luthien.
No, never. That is a promise, and I keep my promises.
Thank you.
Mum's the word, or num's the word. What is it in common?
Um,
Okay.
you gonna tease him about it?
What? Maybe.
Honestly, it's very difficult to tease Luthien because he never like shows any expression one way or the other, and it's
He
like it's
showed
not even
anger
worth
the
it.
other day, and I was very surprised.
Yeah,
Like
that was
he,
actually kind of interesting. I enjoyed that, but then realized I probably shouldn't.
yeah,
Like,
it
you should
just
probably tease him a little bit about it.
okay. I'll do that. I'll do that. Mental note. Tease Luthien tomorrow.
Asha
So
wakes up in the morning completely hungover with written on her arm, "Tease Luthien."
yes, exactly.
Or Stella. I think I said Sash.
We're all
I
gonna be
still,
so hungover when we get on the road tomorrow.
that's the idea. I still lean into Mara
Oh
again.
wait, no, because I'm gonna give everyone a lesser restoration before they go to bed. Or should I do it in the morning when we're hungover?
I'd say you could do it now to
I
prevent
should
it.
do it before I go do my log rest so I can get my spell
Yeah.
slots back. But
Yeah.
I would give Stella Ice Rose, do you need hangover prevention or are you good?
She's immune to poison.
Oh, okay. Well then it would be Stella, Sasha, and myself. Because I think Naya also has poison resistances.
I don't think she does.
Does she not? Oh snap, I thought she did. Fuck.
I think we've just kind of used the rule of cool to say she's a baller.
I mean, she does have a very high tolerance, so we'll see how this plays out. I'll patch her up tomorrow if need be.
Yeah.
I only get like a certain number of spell slots, so. Well, actually, I could do 4 people. So yeah, no, I can take care of all 4 of us for a lesser restoration before we go to bed, so we don't wake over trashed.
The only one who wakes up trashed is Chudward.
Can Chudward be?
No, I don't think he can, but
Quick question. So immunity to poison means I can't ever get hungover?
you also can't really get drunk. That's why like you need like the blood wine to like you're like immune to it, but it's still like it's powerful enough to like pack a punch.
So the blood wine's the only thing that can get me drunk at this point.
Yeah, it's the only thing strong enough that's like really gonna have a noticeable effect because everything else you just process too quickly.
Oh fuck. Okay. That's gonna change some things. In that case, you would have seen Ice lacing some of her shots with a little bit of blood wine. Like a drop in every shot.
That tracks.
All right. Do we want to start on the journey, or do we feel like this is a pretty good place to end it, and we'll start on the road next week? Or do people still have more time?
I have more time if other people want to stick around.
Yeah,
But
I
I
have
also
about
want to go to bed.
yeah, I
it's
have
another, like,
about
hour or
half an
so.
hour. Half an hour to an hour. I'm good.
It's been a quiet night for Storm, so I thought maybe the road would be a good time for him to get some action.
No, we don't have to.
Yeah, I mean, if everyone's up to keep going, we could pick up from there, and we can maybe, you know, since it's going to be kind of in abbreviate because Naya can boat really well. We could probably get through this map so we start off in the mountains next time.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, we are kind of already familiar with the terrain. We generally know what to expect going into this. It shouldn't be a problem for us to just get up the river.
Yeah. So you guys would
you'd probably want to rent a boat, which would not be hard for you guys to do. There is a dock topside there, so if you could get it there, they'd probably, you could return it up on that side of the river. It's going to be easier for them to take it downstream than to bring it upstream. So the rental fee wouldn't be much. It would probably be like, well, you do have an elephant view. There's 7 of you. You'd probably need 3 boats, so like 3 gold a day, and it would take you a few days to get up there.
That's not bad.
I'll chip in
Um,
for a boat. I'll chip in any boat that I'm on. I'll pay for it, knowing that it's probably going to be because I'm of my size.
it's probably mainly just you.
Yeah, it's me. It's me.
Okay, I need to get Roos onto this map. Oh, and Sasha. Sasha was not on this map previously.
Give me an idea of how many days have passed when you drop us where we're at.
That was just 1 night so far.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna skip ahead.
Nope. We'll probably go through pretty quickly, but we're gonna bring you guys in on the southeast. With Naya in tow and Chudward. I would say you guys would travel a little bit quicker on water, but you're going upstream. Naya negates that a little bit. So instead of traveling 25 miles, I think you're going to be able to go about like 30 miles or so. Would get you here at the end of your first day. So if there's anything you guys would like to do on the way to that point, anything you'd like to look for, anything you'd like to stop for, let me know. But otherwise, that's kind of where you guys would be able to get and be able to rest on that next day.
Um, I think Stella's probably just gonna look for anything interesting or of note for the area.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. Oh, this is your favorite terrain, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, roll a perception at advantage.
Woohoo!
Okay. You see a camp where there were probably a fair number of people staying on the shore, and it's been left in disarray. A whole bunch of trash, things are torn up. There was a fire that looks like it's still probably burning a little bit. If you're interested in stopping, you could probably clean up and bury some of the trash and put out the fire to help tidy up after people who are not tidy themselves.
Yeah, I would say Stella would probably go do that. She'll just be like, sorry, there's a fire right over there. I'm just gonna go put it out real quick and be right back. And she like runs off.
Yeah, so you guys are traveling by boat. I would guess you would probably it would probably be like midday. It would probably be a good time for you guys to like stop and do your lunch. So like you guys do your lunch and Stella does a little bit of tidying up the land to
I'm
restore its
preventing
beauty.
forest fires. I
There's a
am
bear. There's posters of a bear folk in town that says that only you can prevent them, and Stella takes
yes.
it very literally.
Yes.
Only she can prevent forest
Only
fires.
I can prevent forest fires.
Well, it's a good thing that we came by this day.
Absolutely.
That's great.
This actually goes against Imix's plans too, so I'm in for it.
Anything anyone else would like to do on that way up the river?
If it doesn't bother anyone else, Roos would while they're drifting. They're not paddling, right? Or are they having to paddle?
You're definitely having the paddle because you're going upstream. Naya makes it
easier to where it's basically like you're paddling on still water, but you don't have propulsion or resistance really. You're just kind of able to propel yourselves at a natural pace.
Gotcha. Never mind. I can't do what I wanted to do then because I don't have free hands. So never mind.
Uh, Dan, did I send you a fruit table?
You did. Sorry, I haven't been able to review all that stuff yet, but if you would like to roll for a search, we'll use it as canon until I declare otherwise, if I do, but I'd say it's
Sure.
fine for now.
Nature?
Um, I it is a survival check.
Gotcha.
Damn.
That's a nat 20.
With a natural 20,
Woo!
yes, you are able to find things. Let's see, I'm trying to see if they're mounts. I don't see fruits on here.
We're in the mountains.
Did you two links? No, this one is mainly like game.
Gotcha. By the way, I noticed next to my stealth box, there's like a D. And what does that mean?
Because you are wearing plate mail now, the dragon plate mail, you have disadvantage on stealth.
Oh, gotcha.
But yeah, so you are in hills and mountains, so go ahead and roll a d10.
D-
6. While you guys are stopped for lunch, you see a lizard that's about a foot long, that you think would be quite tasty if you caught it.
All right, going for it.
Okay. Just make a
How far away is it?
bow attack on it.
Hmm. Why can't I find any? Oh, hang on. I think I accidentally unequipped all my weapons. Yeah, all my stuff is unequipped. That's weird.
You absolutely nail it square in the head to not waste a single ounce of meat from its body, and you have a pound of lizard meat.
Cool.
Okay. So, for the next day, the rapids are really, really heavy, and even with Naya's help, it would be very difficult to get up the rapids. It would probably be easiest to do a portage and go over this uh mound here. And then if you were to do that, you'd still be able to get up to about here. Um which would keep you from getting too close to Edoran's territories, because there's a kind of this mound to separate you and can still have you land on the east side of the river.
How wide is that river?
At that point, it's probably 100 feet or so.
Okay, I would like to propose watches tonight, just in case. I mean, assuming we've
Yep.
been doing watches the whole time, but also like specifically tonight, just in case.
Yeah.
That
This is
works
our,
for me.
yep, this is our second day of travel, right?
Yes, second day of travel after leaving.
Okay.
Oh, oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say this is the day that Mara's disability from that wish spell ends.
Yeah, since the day before was actually light activity, it actually would have been the previous night. So before you embark
Oh,
for this day,
that was actually something I was going to ask you, Dan. Every morning, Mara would try to use her light cantrip, and whether or not it hurt her would determine whether she was still spell sick. So, what the day
can
that her cantrip lights?
yeah, cantrips would not hurt her. It's leveled spells. So the fact that you only have 5th level spells
Oh,
means
god
you
damn
have
it.
to
Oh, shit.
if you're gonna test it each morning, you've got to be willing to take the 5d10.
I mean, I can test it right away and then like short rest for funsies.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I would have
Well,
tested it every morning to see like
okay. So for the previous mornings, um, you were getting that damage, but on the morning that leads you guys to this point, so you're getting ready to start this portage up over the hill. Um, what spell are you casting?
that's a good question.
It also could be your commune ability.
Yeah, I'd probably just use the commune because like I have no way of contacting my patron right now, and that's also mildly terrifying. So I'd probably use the commune spell and just like taking the punch in the face.
Okay. It connects without issue. What are your questions?
Has Imix done anything harmful yet? Yes or no?
The answer is going to be unclear.
Okay.
Oh, I have been responding to these kind of in character for James. So sorry, let me reset that. Um, oh, I guess that all depends.
Right. Um are there other impacts from the wish that I do not already know?
Like a stone in water, all powerful magic causes waves.
Is Hildebrandis does Hildebrandis have hostile intentions towards us at this moment in time?
Seemed quite friendly to me.
Okay. And that's my 3 questions. Whew. Glad I can
And
cast spells now.
and go ahead and roll an Arcana check for me.
Oof. Everything's fine, guys.
Everything is totally fine. Everything is awesome.
Everything's great. I got my spells back.
Everything
Nothing
is
could possibly go wrong now.
Everything's cool when you're part of a team.
God damn it.
Everything is awesome.
Hey, you guys, great news. I got my spells back. Nothing to see here.
Okay. It over the course of this day with a portage and then kind of snaking your way up the river. Is there anything anyone would like to do over the course of that day, or do we want to take some watches for the night?
Ice will be, since we're close to where Edrin's lands are, on the lookout for Faithing undead tracks.
Okay, roll your survival at advantage.
And she's distracted.
She also would know that they've only seen them on the northwest side of the river, and I'm assuming you guys aren't taking landfall there, so she's not finding them, but she's in tune enough to know that it would be hard to find without actually landing there.
Gotcha. So nothing on this side that I can see.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what? I would have been using detect magic like the whole time, but since we're like closer to like the cliffs of this dude's property, I want to go like magic item fishing. I want to like specifically use detect magic to see like if any adventurers drop shit in this river that as we're going through it.
What is the range on that?
It's 30 feet, so it's more for like fun than anything, but like maybe
Yeah.
something will ping.
Roll me a D100.
Whose boat am I in, by the way? Because I would want to go closer to Edrin Shore for max loot probability.
Yeah, let's decide that. We're gonna say there's a Roos boat. Who wants to be a captain of another boat? And not necessarily captain, but like
Naya would be captain
who?
of a boat,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Naya would probably be in the lead boat, would be my guess, because she's got to control the water. Does it sound fair that Roos would take up the rear?
Yeah.
We have
Yeah,
three.
probably. Yeah, because that way he's not obstructing the vision of everyone else.
We'll put Sasha in the middle boat, and then who would you guys like to each join?
I would probably go with Naya.
I'll hang out with Roos.
Yeah, I'll go with Bruce.
I'll go with whatever has space.
That's Sasha.
Oh my god, it's like we almost planned it, you guys.
Okay.
And then Ice is
Well,
sitting with them completely oblivious. I love it.
Well, no, Ice could join the lead boat and leave the two of them.
yeah, I'm trying to think now. Like as a player, I want to go in the lead boat, but then Ice still has no idea, and she's very worried that like Sasha's gonna kill Luthien because she has no idea what a crash is.
Ice is third
love
wheeling
it.
it. Ice is third wheeling it.
Bree, pull Ice into your boat.
This is so
'cause she's
beautiful.
worried.
No, I'm convincing Naya that we need to swim closer to the dangerous shore for maximum loot probability. Gonna come with us on a loot adventure? Because we're gonna go looting. Get in, bitch.
You're gonna go
We're going
looting?
shopping.
Like, do you actually tell her that?
Yes.
Yep,
We're
sorry,
gonna go
Luthien, you're-
looting. Get in if you want to come. Or stay over there, whatever.
Ice will go with Mara. She kind of looks over at Luthien, like tugs on his sleeve and kind of whispers real quick. Careful.
Oh, why'd I move Sasha there? There we go. That's what I meant to do.
Yeah, Luthien looks very confused as he watches Ice walk away. A little worried, maybe.
So, for the portage, I'm guessing Ice would probably carry like the bulk of the weight of the first boat, but you guys could kind of share the weight. Between Stormblaze and Roos, like they could basically like toss the boat back and forth amongst each other, I think. Like Stormblaze could just like carry it like it's nothing. And I imagine Luthien is probably trying to help, but Sasha totally has this. Carrying the boat on her shoulders over over that bit of land.
That sounds about right.
You guys place back down in the water and proceed. And then when you get to where the water had forked, you can continue upstream. Mara, oh, you rolled your D100. No, you don't find anything magical from outside.
Well, we'll share adventure stories anyway.
Great. Anything else before you guys camp for the night? For the second night of travel?
Bruce would I'd ask, is it does anyone mind if I play my drum, or do we not want to draw attention? I don't play loudly.
No. That should be all right.
All right.
It would actually probably be beneficial because then people would know we're not trying to sneak up on them.
Ah, well, in that case, I will play a little bit. And he'll play, he's got like a bit of a melodic drum. You ever seen the African drums that have like that you squeeze under your arm and it changes the pitches of it? It's like one of those. So he just kind of, it's more of like almost like a congo. You play with your fingers, so it's not really loud and it's very melodic.
I thought I heard like I think I heard like a thud or something through someone's microphone that sounded like a single beat of a drum, and I thought you were about to start playing us some drums.
I could find one.
Honestly, don't tempt him.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah,
That's
sorry, that
better
might have
too.
been me. My cat just jumped from a very high place, so that might have been me.
I could have sworn I heard like someone tap a drum.
Yeah, I have a really high dresser, like it's an old-fashioned dresser from my dad, and Mr. Mayor loves jumping from it. But he's a big boy, so he makes a loud sound.
So Roos plays the drums as you guys head up, and when you go through like the narrower straights, it gets louder and kind of bounces off the canyon around you. When you get to the fork, it kind of opens up, but it closes in more as you guys get further upstream to camp for the night. So I'm gonna I want to screenshot this just so I know who is taking what watches. Where's my or so I know what boats, so I have that for record. And then if we could arrange watches.
Woohoo! Yes. Stella will take a watch.
Bruce will take a watch as well.
Ice
Mara
usually
would-
takes third, right?
Ace is actually not taking a watch tonight. It's the full
Ooh.
moon.
Okay.
Mhm.
Then I will take third.
I'll take.
Storm said fourth. Lucian, did you take fourth also?
I'll take whatever's if let's go.
You're really quiet.
Sorry, I'll take if whatever one needs covered.
Okay. Naya, would you like a watch with anyone?
Yes, she usually does third unless someone else is, or unless there's two people already.
No, there's just Mara.
Third watch with Mara.
Dude, we've
Okay.
been drinking all like the last like 4 days. It's been great.
Sasha will help Stella.
Woohoo!
Actually, no, yes, that's I was gonna say Sasha hasn't spent much time with Roos, but no, after the night before, Sasha will take watch with Stella.
Okay.
I'm right there with you. I thought he was gonna say Luthien.
No, Luthien and Storm are
Leghast.
already growed up. Okay. First watch. Let's get a Sasha and let's get a Stella perception checks.
Okay. Ooh. Did not.
Don't have Sasha up currently. I'm just gonna roll a d20 and okay. Let's roll 100. Sasha starts looking like she's gonna ask you something, and then she looks across the shore and kind of taps you on the shoulder anxiously and points out some undead on the west side of the river. It's very rocky there, so they're not like on patrol paths. They're kind of bouldering their way across the cliff face there.
Do they look like they're coming towards us?
No, they're just kind of making their way around. Moving from one point to another, you watch them for a little bit, and they come to kind of like a perch further upwards. They sit there for a little while, and then they kind of boulder their way further along.
Weird. Yeah. I would say Stella, as soon as Sasha pointed it out, probably had her bow like knocked and ready until they like eventually moved on their way.
Yeah.
And then she'll relax after they disappear.
Yeah, sitting there and watching, and as they take some time to sit and watch around before they move on, that's going to take the bulk of your watch. So it'll be getting near the end of your watch once you feel confident they're really out of sight and out of earshot.
All right. Sorry, did you want to say something?
No, no.
You
Everything's
sure?
okay. Eh, Have you guys have been fighting those things?
Yeah. Well, I mean, not, I guess not actively. We've been trying not to. We actually stayed at the place where the guy, who controls them. Uh, yeah, we stayed at his place for a while, so we were avoiding them for a bit. But yeah, we definitely fought a couple of those.
They they give me the creeps. You
Ye-
how far away did you kill one from?
Oh, it was roughly 2 miles.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's a shot.
I was really surprised. Honestly, I thought I would miss, and then Black told me that it hit, and you know, I'll just say that was probably my best shot ever.
Well done.
But
You're making me feel safer.
yeah, no worries. I got us covered.
All right. Second watch is Roos. Do you want to give me a perception check?
Oh yeah, I was wondering if they were gonna wake me up. Okay, so I will roll a perception check. Wait a second. Checks that apply to keen smell. I have keen smell. Is that
How
does that
how
mean
how far does smell travel
I
across
didn't know I
it?
had this. I'm just gonna roll a normal one for now, and I'll read up on that later.
Yeah, okay.
And I don't. Oh, there you go. 12. Yeah, not much.
Yeah, with a 12, I mean, there's nothing that seems close that's immediately a threat. Um, Down here in this canyon, um, you hear the waves echoing off both sides, and it's quite loud, and it's not like deafening, but it's not like a quiet night under the stars. It's like there's this constant white noise there, and it's hard to ever really just kind of like get inside your own thoughts because the noise floor is just so high.
Hmm. Um, if I were to cast a spell right now, would I recoup it from my long rest?
Um, Technically, you'd have to start your rest over, but if it's something that's low level and easy, I'm probably okay with it.
Just gonna
Um,
be some sending spells.
what level is sending?
Sending I think is 3. Let me double check that though.
Okay.
Some sending spells. Yeah, let's just
Yeah.
blow all my spell slots real quick.
Yeah,
That's a
it's a
short rest,
3rd level
right?
spell. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So going forward in the future, you're probably gonna have to do it before you start your rests. But since this has been a day without event, I'm fine with you using them today. But if it's like days where you're managing your spell slots and really trying to conserve them and stuff, I'll be a little more strict with it.
Yeah, and
For
and I
today.
don't mind too. Part of his character is that he communicates with his daughters and his wife through sending spells, so it's kind of like a penalty tax I'd pay for him, like he's gonna use them anyway.
Yeah.
But I was just how many if he could recoup them, it would change how many he sends right now. Uh,
Um, since it's not something you declared before you started your rests, I'll just say that you could do one, but like normally you'd want to do it before you start
yeah,
the
understood.
the rest itself. Or you
Cool.
could I think I'd also be fine with if you want to like claim first watch and use them over the course of the first watch. That would also be okay.
Gotcha.
So,
Cool. Yeah, he would probably not do it, but since he's kind of sitting in the woods alone, basically,
yeah.
he gets for the whole watch. He's kind of bored.
Yep.
So he's going to cast a sending spell. Um, and I don't. And I was going to do it even if I didn't get it back, so it's not a big deal.
Okay.
But I appreciate
Cool.
getting it back.
Yeah.
And he will send a message to his wife. Um, I can share it or I can not. We can role play it or we can not. It's up to.
I don't think I don't remember having enough info on his wife to really role play it.
Mhm. Yeah, I
So
didn't give you much.
yeah, so if you want to just kind of that's kind of a private thing that like would play out and you probably know better what the response would be at this point. So if you want to play that out and then kind of let me know both sides of it, that'll start giving me an idea of what the other side is like so I can start role playing in the future.
Yep. Yeah, we don't have to do it now, but it's real simple actually. His wife and he have both left about 150 years ago when they were 200 to start their journeys. Their daughters remained in their homeland.
Mhm.
The wife occasionally goes back and checks on the daughters. He has done it before, but has not much. So basically, it's just kind of like, hey, how's everything going? Have you heard from the girls? It's those sort of conversations.
Okay.
So it's just yeah. So nothing important unless you want to make something happen that would become important. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, I think it would just kind of be good to know what conversations are taking place. Like if you just even want to throw them in a DM, like
Perfect.
you
Cool.
you don't even have to kind of stop the session for it. You could just say, "Hey, overnight I would message this or whatever."
Excellent.
And then once I start getting a sense for the character, I can start kind of filling in that space.
Cool. I'll DM you something then. But so that's what he'd do. He would send us a message to his wife and check in, and that would be all his watch. He just with a
Cool.
12 perception, he probably doesn't see much.
Great. At the end of Roos's watch, Ice Rose would wake up, and Naya and Mara would be taking the next watch. Um, I think we should probably resolve the watch first with perceptions from Naya and Mara.
Oh, wait, why is it still? I don't know how to roll in this thing.
Oh, did it go in
It,
D&D Beyond?
yeah, it says 22, 20 plus 2.
Okay.
I can verify that. It's a natural 20, yeah. I can verify it.
Oh,
Yeah.
not 20. I can see all of it.
I'm looking at a screen.
Cool. With a 22, let me roll. You as well see on the cliff face across the river, um, undead bouldering around. They kind of find a perch. They sit there for a few minutes. They boulder away a little more and set up a perch and kind of sit there for a few minutes and boulder out of sight.
Oh my gosh, this is so big. So they just came around and then they left.
Yeah. So you guys know they patrol the lands on the north side or north and west sides of the river. So staying on the side you're at, you guys you don't have any hard reason to believe that you guys are safe, but based on what Edorin has said and the behavior you've seen, you guys feel fairly safe on that side of the river.
I would like to carve into a stone somewhere a little cleric symbol. And it's basically gonna translate to like know what your intentions are before you cross a river or something like that.
Okay. And so this is like scratching and it's not like chiseling into the stone, right?
Yeah, like I really only have like, a small little nail. So I'm really just kind of like scratching it in, and it's a really super like temporary thing. It's not like a long lasting permanent impression of this dude. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like,
So it's
hey,
something
if
that after
anyone crosses in the next few days, he might be temperamental.
yeah, well probably even it would probably last like a couple seasons or whatever, but then it'll be gone. I just wanted to know like if you were getting out a hammer and chisel and pounding away,
No,
causing echoes
no.
throughout the
I'm
canyon.
just I'm just scratching it in with like a little nail that I keep in my
Yeah.
pocket.
Okay. Yeah, you can absolutely leave a message there. Ice Rose, what shenanigans are you up to?
Going looking for night blooming jasmine.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your survival check.
Oh, survival.
What's the modifier?
For survival, it's a 0.
Okay, so that would still be a 18. You definitely be able to find a good amount of it. Um, that's what you use for your wine, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you'd be able to find enough for one bottle of wine. Um, you don't find any down around the river, but as you climb up a little bit, you're able to find it in kind of nooks and crannies on the cliffs on your side of the river.
Gotcha. And then on my way back, I will be looking for Fafine Undead, whatever time I have left.
Okay, that'll be survival at advantage again.
Distract. Thinking
You do
about how
not
I'm
find any.
thinking about how I'm gonna ferment this.
Okay. Luthien and Storm, fourth watch.
Oh wait, I wanted to look for flowers.
Oh, sorry. Um, you already rolled the perception, right? A 22. Well, I
Mhm.
guess it would be a survival check to look for flowers. Are you gonna ask Ice Rose where she's running off to do, or are you just gonna do your own?
Um, she probably just takes off, right? And then she go off pretty quickly. Oh man, why does this keep going? Oh, I got a
You,
16 plus a
y-
6 this time. The
yep,
survival.
yeah. Usually Ice Rose just kind of runs off. Is that still the case?
No, actually, she would be like, going looking for flowers tonight, and then walk off.
Oh, then I would be like, wait, hold on a second. I want to look for some too. Ish, but still in the area. I won't go too far because I'll still stay around that little
Okay.
piece.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah. So with your 16 and with what Ice was able to locate, she would point them out on the cliffside. And she'd be able to go up and collect, a good serving of them, but with still staying and keeping an eye on Mara to make sure Mara and the party are safe, you'd be able to collect a lot fewer, but you'd be able to get the ones that are kind of low and easy, which would allow Ice to go higher and farther, and that would allow Ice to get like a bottle and a half's worth.
Yeah. Cool.
And then I'm sure, like, if you want to keep a couple or whatever, if you have something you're doing with flowers, you could.
Yeah, I'm just collecting them
Yeah.
for funsies.
So yeah, Ice, you're able to get a bottle and a half's worth with ISL.
Gotcha.
Storm and Luthien. If there's anything you guys would like to do on your watch, you can, or just roll perceptions.
I just want to keep an eye out to see if I see any skeletons or any of Edrin's minions.
You actually do not. You are watching like a hawk, and you're sure if they were there, you would see them. And even the prior watches have let you know that they've seen them, but on the course of your watch, you do not.
Okay.
They're hiding from you. They don't want another smash and grab.
Then I'll just keep watch.
Okay.
Ice will wander over to Luthien and Storm, and then kind of be like, "So, I want to ask you guys something.
What's going on?
Do you by chance know what a crush is?"
Yeah,
Actually-
it's what I do with my axe or my sword.
See, that's what I thought, but the girls were telling me something different, so I'm really confused right now. They said something about, maybe not killing the person that you like, or killing. I don't know.
So,
Like,
I would love to roleplay this right now, but can we do this next session? Because a bunch of people are in their bunks now, and I'm trying to kind of be quiet.
Yeah, we could absolutely pick this up next session. All I was gonna do
Yeah.
was kind of declare how far you guys were able to get in the next day, and then I was gonna call it. So let's just pick up there instead. Since I measured everything out, I'm going to leave that where it is, and I'm gonna put Ice, Luthien, and Storm up on where the party is camped. And I think that's the perfect point for us to say, let's pick up there next week.
Woohoo!
Woo. I
Yay.
can't wait for Luthien to explain this.
Yes, please.
Will Luthien do a better job than Mara and Stella?
Absolutely, in every
But
way
in
imaginable.
in a completely opposite direction that confuses her even more.
Looking forward to it.
Incredible.
All right, I'll see
Thank
you
you,
guys.
Dan. Good
Yes, thank
night.
you. I'll see you all next
Night.
week.